What it do, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm really excited to finally sit down and talk to you guys about the Sephora savings event sale that is coming up at the time of this video tomorrow. I'm aiming to get this video up today, so hopefully that works out. That way you guys get a day of seeing what is in my loves list. But let's just talk about the basics, right? So there are three different tiers at Sephora. You have Rouge, VIB, and Beauty Insider. Rouge gets 20% off, VIB gets 15% off, and Beauty Insider gets 10% off. It is absolutely free to just join the Beauty Insider program, and in that way you automatically get 10% off of your purchases. Please keep in mind, 20% really is nothing in the end of the day. Depending on your state taxes could be 10, if not honestly 15%. Some state taxes are quite crazy. So please keep all of that in mind when you're deciding what you pick up and deciding to actually participate in this sale. You do not have to participate in the sale. It is just an opportunity to get certain things for a discounted rate if you do participate. I will just say one more thing and then we will just dive truly straight on in. During this time period, most brands do an even better discount on the brand's website. It is up to your discretion if you want to go ahead and buy from, every individual brand that you were potentially going to pick up at Sephora. It may be more cost effective. It may be more costly. It just depends on what you're getting and the price or the discount that those brands provide, and if you have to pay for shipping or whatever afterwards. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not going to get too far into it. I'm going to scoot over and we're going to talk about what's going on with my cart. Okay, I actually lied because I remembered that I did not talk about any kind of recommendations. For me, I feel like I've done a lot of videos surrounding Sephora sales, right? I've done the recommendation videos. I've done the you don't need to buy videos. I've done them all. So I will just have them linked down below. If we're being honest, I don't want to sit here and say this is what you need to get. So what I'm going to say is just check out my older videos. Those are the videos that I would recommend if you really want to know a recommendation for me. If I put it in there, it was a recommendation for a reason, and it's been a holy grail. I'll also go ahead and put down there my top shelf drawer video so you guys can see what are the items that are literally reaching distance from me, so that you will know what other items I'm really into right now. But other than that, I don't particularly want to do a video where I'm just recommending everything under the sun. I don't have it in me, if we're being honest. I've also recently done a roundup. I think I've done 2 roundups since I've been here and since the last video. So I can also link those down below as well. Once again, if you really want to know opinions about particular items that I've talked about, those opinions are there. So for real now, let me scoot over and let's talk about these items that I may or may not be picking up. Alrighty, so the way that I'm doing this is that I love to keep a running list in my Sephora loves list. It's just something that I like to do. I like to go back to that list when I am considering picking things up either from Sephora or another location. I will use this list as a benchmark, right? When I'm going to Ulta, it's a very similar thing. And sometimes I will have things loved here at Sephora that I actually plan to pick up at Ulta, and I will unpin them, of course, once I've picked them up. So this is not a list that I will say I'm actually gonna buy all of this stuff. It is quite a lot of stuff. And I've actually gone through and cleared out a handful of things recently and re-added them if they were pinned the wrong thing. But just know that there's nothing here that is a need. These are all wants. All wants. So I've heard a lot of things about these Armani Beauty liquid eyeshadows. Now, to be fair, I don't get a lot of love out of liquid eyeshadows, which is why these have sat in my loves list for so long. I tend to better appreciate cream eyeshadows, and I'll also talk about that when it comes to cheek products as well. I prefer cream cheek products rather than liquids. So I think I've gotten to the point where although people can be recommending them and loving them and saying you've got to try them, you got to try them, I think I'm at the point in my life where I'm just not going to. If it's not the formula that I know I love, I just don't want to spend my money and waste it and then have to return it or whatever have you. I just don't want to go through that. So I'm probably going to actually take this off both of the shades because I have two different shades. I have this Cicino 10 brown, and then I also have another shade which is 36M, which is a deep brown matte. I definitely would love to like try it and get my opinions on it, but at the end of the day, I think once I've done that, I don't think I'm gonna reach for these. And that's something that I've seen time and time again with any liquid eyeshadow and any liquid cheek product. So no need to keep wasting my money. I have a smattering of perfumes in my loves list, mainly because I've already sprayed the scent. I already know I enjoy it, or it's a scent that I really want to try. So the first one here is from Commodity, and this is the Milk Expressive. I have the Big Daddy bottle in there. It's for $150. I love this scent. I've sprayed it multiple times on my body. I've walked around. I've had it on me for long periods of time. This is a scent that I desperately want. I guess technically, according to my own rule, which is 2 perfumes out, 1 in, I actually can buy 1 perfume during this sale. I'll talk about the other one in just a bit. I am interested in this one, don't get me wrong, but this one isn't as limited edition, if you will. It's not as timely as I'm worried the other one is. So I may go ahead and get the other one. But then my concern is I've never smelled the other one, and you can't because it's online only. So I don't really know. We'll figure it out. Like I said, this is just a kind of a wish list, right? None of this is a done deal at all. The next one is this Tarte Glow Squad Amazonian Clay Face Palette. I saw this in store, and honestly, I was going to pick it up. I happened to be at a Kohl's that they had a Sephora in store. The person was really busy. I had a lot to do that day. I didn't want to just sit there, and there was only one employee in the Sephora. And I used to work at Kohl's, so I know they typically will only allow you to buy Kohl's or Sephora items in the Sephora register. So I ended up not picking it up. And honestly, I might actually pick up some of these things at the Kohl's in a Sephora. No, the Sephora in a Kohl's, because that's another trick I would highly recommend if you really want to buy these things that way. Also, I think Tarte does a really good sale. They usually do about 30% off. So I'll probably wait for that as well. There's so many options, but this is a palette that I'm interested in. I did swatch it. The darker shade variety actually did look like it was going to work on my skin tone, and I can't lie. I am intrigued to see if this is equivalent or somewhere near the Hourglass face palette. This is a holiday release in case you did not know, and this would be great to add to my holiday video. So I'm fixing to pick it up, but it's gotten to the point where I need to kind of end what I'm picking up for this video, and I need to just finish and finalize my thoughts for that video so I can push the video out for you guys. Something I do know that I desperately want is this LYS Mini High Standard Cream Blush Stick. This is a trio, 3 different shades. I don't have any of these shades, and this will continue to allow me to get more shades, which is what I desperately want. I wanted pretty much the whole collection, and so by getting this, it will get me closer to that. And I love that they're minis. As much as I love these sticks, I actually just finished talking about this in a video for my members. I don't need full sizes. I don't. So I love that I could get minis of more shades that I want of a formula that I absolutely love. Keeping it going, the other perfume that I'm considering picking up a little bit more than the Milk perfume from Commodity is this Kayali Wedding Silk Santal. Now I know when I talked about this in my last Do Makeup releases, one of you guys said that the sillage and the lasting power of this is not really that great, which I really appreciate it. That's good information for me. But I must admit, I do love the Kayali scents. I have had 2 or 3, somewhere around there. I know I have the full size of the Burning Love, and I know I've had quite a few travel sizes of other scents. I think I've only had one full size though, because I was anticipating picking up some more during their 30% off sale during last Christmas season. They ended up not putting the perfumes that I wanted on sale, and they didn't put them on for 30% off, at least not the big bottles. So I was highly disappointed. So I might actually go ahead and just pick up the big bottle of this wedding silk scent. I know they just relaunched it, and I really just at least want to have it in my collection, even if it's for something that I have to preserve for a long period of time and use sparingly. It is something that I do want to get my nose on and try. I also am very interested in getting this Haus Labs holiday set. This is the blush set where you get a powder blush and a cream blush. I don't have either shade for these products. I've never tried the Glossy Balm. When it came out, I don't know what was going on, but I just did not buy it. I was interested, but I just never picked one up. And I did want to still pick one up. And I also wanted to expand the color variety that I have for her powder blushes. And I don't have this shade. So I'm highly, highly anticipating picking this up as well. I will say those two holiday sets so far are like the highest ticket members that I really want to pick up. I also really love my Glamnetic press-ons. I actually just finished making an order at the Glamnetics website, so I probably won't pick these up right now, but these are some really cute sets, and I love the new packaging that they've come out with. It's sleeker, it's more refined, you get what you actually need in there, and you can go about your business. So I really like this set. It's really, really cute. It would be perfect for the winter, and I think it's short enough that I can wear it easily during work. Not that I need to have short nails for work, because I can work around it, but it just makes life a little bit easier, right? Even if you're just typing on a computer, having shorter nails does make it easier for you to type. A foundation that I put in my loves list is this Dior Perfect Foundation Stick. This is in the shade 5 in Neutral. I've never tried anything from the more kind of luxurious Dior range, I don't think, at least not base wise. The one foundation I had was their Face and Body, and I loved it. I did have it in 5 in, so that's why I put this one on my loves list under the 5 in shade. I don't know if I'm going to pick it up. We'll see. I definitely think that this is probably going to be a great product, but I feel like I've just brought in so many foundations. I have enough foundations to do a full week, and I'm still kind of in between the point of testing foundations out before I start to film their respective reviews. And so I feel like I keep, unfortunately, pushing back the date that I'm going to be posting these videos, because it's taking me a little while to get my opinions prior to actually filming said video for each respective foundation. I hope that makes sense. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see. I'll be up because I'll be at work when the sale starts. So we'll never know what happens until I press the purchase button. Something that I definitely want, and honestly I don't need the sale for, it just was out of stock the last time I tried to pick it up, is the Glossier sharpener. I hear great things about it, and it's never a bad thing to have a really good sharpener. I have a decent one now, but this one has a bigger kind of spot for it to hold your scrapings, and so I really kind of want to try this. It's $9. I feel like it'll be great, so I'm definitely interested in that. Like I said, I do definitely prefer cream sticks, and so I've wanted to get a full size of this Laura Mercier caviar stick in warm medium brown. I absolutely love using these as bases. Today I actually used a cream shadow stick as a base, and this is from Milani. It's in a very similar tone, although that one was actually a shimmery version. I usually don't do a lot of shimmery cream sticks, but I was really just interested in the formula, and that's a really good formula. So I really want to just get another Laura Mercier stick. I've had 2 of the mini ones, and I finished one. I still have the other, mainly because the color of the other one just really isn't that up my alley, but I think I'm going to pick this up. We'll see. It's very expensive. I don't know much about Laura Mercier's website, like what their sales look like. I'm sure they have decent sales, but I've never joined their subscription to know. And honestly, I need to start leaving subscriptions because I have so many emails coming in. It's crazy. Fleur, I heard a lot of really good things about their vanilla skin perfume. So I have a travel size in my loves list. I'll probably never buy the travel size. What I'll probably do is just spray it in person. And from there, I can know if I want it or not. From what I hear, a lot of the Fleur perfumes are kind of skin scents that are slightly elevated. And I find that I just no longer want to continue picking up scents like that. There's nothing wrong with them, but I want scents that are extremely unique, interesting, thought-provoking, stuff like that. And so I doubt I'm gonna pick this up, but for now, it's still on my loves list. I think I'm gonna wait to see what Natasha Denona does. Lately, what she's been doing is she has like about a 20% off sale, and then she has those sets where she'll put two different palettes together, which only works if you don't have either of the palettes. But I do want this I Need a Nude Warm palette. I do. I truly, truly do. So we'll see. I'm very interested in it. But I don't know if I'm going to be picking it up from Sephora or from Natasha Denona. And she's also available at Ulta. So if Ulta does a 20% off coupon, I might get it there as well. A lipstick that I hear a lot of people talking about, and I actually really have been into lipsticks more so than liquid lipsticks, is this NARS Explicit Satin Lipstick formulation. So I put one shade that I thought I may like. I don't think it's going to be my perfect shade, but this is in Warm Beige. It looks decent. It looks kind of similar to the shade that I have on today. Not something that I think is 100% spot on, but it's a decent formula nonetheless, or decent shade nonetheless. And I may want to pick this up. It's not cheap though. It's $40. I will say NARS definitely does do sales. I never really pay attention to the sales all that often, but I want to say they at least do 20% off. So if you are not at least Rouge, I would wait to go to the NARS website. I also have two shades from the Kosas blushes, and I know I've swatched these, and I want to say that the shade Thrill was the one that actually appeared to work on me. But when you swatch in store, sometimes they get worn down. It's just not the best. And then also these baked blushes and these baked products in general, I find you really need to see the application on your face with a brush. So I'm hemming and hawing on this. I don't have a lot of Kosas products, but I do have a handful, and I have been interested in trying these, so I may. I have two really expensive products from Prada. Honestly, I was just so intrigued. I was so intrigued. I heard great things about the eyeshadow palette, so I do have that in the cart in my loves list. The likelihood that I'm going to buy that is very, very low. The thing that I'm most likely going to potentially pick up is this Prada foundation. I've wanted it since it launched. I just haven't picked it up, and I have it. I think I would be the shade DW80, which is deep with warm undertones. I think this would be my shade. You know, you never know until you get it, and then once you get it, you're like, what is this? So who knows? But I really kind of want to try it. I've seen such great reviews, and I feel like 20% is going to be the best that I can get. I doubt Prada's ever going to put it on sale. And this is the one site out of all the sites that Prada Beauty is sold that I tend to frequent most. So I feel like that's where it's going to be. A palette that I've had in my loves list for over a year now is the Charlotte Tilbury Super Nudes Easy palette. I put this in my loves list last year right around this time because Lauren Mae Beauty was talking about how the holiday palette mattes were very similar to this palette. And she was saying how if you like it, then you would love the mattes, because at that point she did not like that palette. I now have the holiday palette from this year, and I must say I really like the mattes, so it's making me want to pick this palette up even more. That said, this is not a new palette. This is a very old palette. It's available on Charlotte Tilbury, and I know she does a discount on all of her site. I think the last time I checked, her discount was 20% when I was paying attention, but I'm sure she does it for more. So I'm definitely looking at this even harder now because I've tried a palette that can kind of confirm that I do enjoy those mattes, but I'm not positive that this is something that I need to have right now, let alone from Sephora. I do have one thing from the Sephora collection, and this is their eyeshadow stick in terracotta matte. If you did not know, the Sephora collection actually goes on 30% off sale for everybody regardless of your tier. So I definitely would recommend, if you're really interested in Sephora collection or if you've wanted to try something from them, I would definitely recommend doing that now. And so yeah, this is definitely something that I will probably pick up as long as it's available. I think the last time I tried to pick it up, it was sold out. I got some more caviar sticks from Laura Mercier, and so I have one in caramel, which is a matte neutral light brown, and then brick, which is a matte chestnut brown. Similar to what I've already said before, I really like the formula. I just wanted full sizes, and I just have not pulled the trigger. I have 2 full sizes coming in from Maison Margiela, or more accurately, their replica range. One is by the fireplace. I've already had this time and time again. I just want a full size of it. I like to have a full size. I think that one full size of this will last me the rest of my lifetime. I don't wear it often, but when I want to wear it, I do want to wear it. And another one that I think I had a travel size of, I can't distinctly remember why this made it to my loves list, but it's under the lemon tree. That one is least likely to be picked up, but I do definitely want by the fireplace if I can pick it up. I may look at the sampler sets to see if I can get that for a cheaper price that way. But one way or another, I definitely do want to go ahead and pick that up this year because it's been a while since I've had it, and this is the perfect season to have it, especially going into winter. Really, really great. Danessa Myricks I know does 30% off. The thing about her 30% off is you really have to be on the website like that because her stuff sells out. I do really want this Yummy Skin in the shade 12. I had already planned to get it last year, but by the time I got on the website, it was already sold out. So hopefully by the time I get on there this year, it's still available. If not, I'll wait another year, but I do definitely want that. Once again, I have a liquid eyeshadow from a brand that I've been starting to slowly get to. It's Emicole, but I think like I said, I'm just not going to try it. I typically don't like liquid eyeshadows, and I don't want to try it, test it out just to buy it. I don't want to buy it just to test it out and then let it sit. I definitely want to use that product. So I think I'm going to go ahead and skip on that again, and it will be decluttered out of this loves list after this video. The Patrick Ta Major Glow Lip Shine, and She's Expensive, is something that Lauren Mae Beauty recommends almost every recommendations video when it comes to Sephora. So that's why it's in the cart. Maybe eventually I'll pick it up and I'll have it, and that way I can know whether it's as good as she says it is or not. But it's not something I'm really pressed to get. I have a Juliet's by the Gun travel spray. This is a really old favorite, and it's Sunny Side Up. I think that I put this in there because somebody was recommending it for, you know, a particular scent profile. I honestly don't even remember what it was at the time or now. Probably never going to pick this up. This is another one that could probably eventually be decluttered. An old NARS foundation that I still want to try is their light reflecting advanced skincare that gives medium coverage. I already know my shade match because I've had NARS foundations recently, so it's just a matter of me pulling the trigger. And then the last thing is actually from Dead Cool, and this is a perfume that I already had a travel size of, and I've already gone through that travel size of it. Or not travel size, I'm sorry, like the little sampler size. I've already gone through it. I loved it. I chose that one, and I've just never picked it up. So there's so many things here that I think I can honestly easily skip, either for this round away or waiting for the brands to do a better sale. There's certain brands that I just never would recommend you buy from Sephora or even full price, to say that. Urban Decay, Tarte, honestly to an extent NARS, because NARS always does a sale, Too Faced, Fenty Beauty, There's just a plethora of brands that I would just say, wait until like mid to late November. I promise you there will be so many sales. It's going to be insane. I literally, in the middle of doing this video, I've already received like 2 or 3 coupons that are better than what Sephora is already giving. So I honestly always recommend you to just sit on it, wait, it's going to come, it's going to work out. But with that said, I think that's all I have for today. I've thoroughly enjoyed sitting here and talking through my loves list. Like I said, my loves list moves and flows throughout the year, throughout the time that I am on Sephora, really. And I am sure there will be a YouTuber that recommends something and then I'm like, I'd be interested in trying that. But as of right now, this is what's on that list. And like I said, there are definitely a handful of things that will be removed pretty much after the end of this video. And that's okay. That's okay. If in the future I get really into liquid eyeshadows, then I'll put her back. I'll put her back. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. Like I said, I didn't want to overcrowd you guys with all of these recommendations and stuff. So I'm just gonna link down below all of my old recommendation videos. Hopefully that's helpful for you all. I hope you guys just enjoyed sitting back watching me kind of think through what I want in my cart, what I may be picking up, what I may not be picking up. Who knows? I will definitely do a haul for you guys so you guys can see what I pick up. And I literally don't know at this point, and it's only a couple hours away that the sale starts. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But with that said, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.